It's time to start Dishin Days with your hosts, Tony Moore, Michael Mattis, Justin Lee Hareld, and Araceli Aviles. And now, let's dish. We are back again. Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to Dishin Days, where we're serving up a full dish of this week's episodes of Peacock's exclusive #1 award-winning hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. If you haven't already, make sure you like us and follow us on all social media platforms. We are Dishin Days Show on Facebook and Dishin Days on Instagram, Twitter /X, and Threads. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you are watching us live and in living color and you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification. That way you'll never miss when we're going live. Also, make sure you check us out on your favorite podcast stations. We are available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. So if you are stuck in traffic or working it out in the gym or taking a long walk on I almost said cliff.
Don't do that. Dateline has taught us.
Don't do that. But wherever you are and you want to take us along with you, make sure you find us on your favorite podcast station. And also, buy some merch. Tis the season of holidays to go and grab yourself one of these. We have our Meliswin Possessed Dishin Days logo and serving up a full dish, all available to you on a t-shirt, on a notebook, on a sticker, on a mug, on our faces. Wherever you want, you can purchase them at dishindays.threadless.com. Again, that's dishindays.threadless.com. And of course, make sure you head on over and show some love to our former co-host and my chocolate twin, James Lott Jr., who is serving up a couple of dishes of his own. He has recaps of Bold and the Beautiful, Young and the Restless, and General Hospital, along with some original. He wrote them himself on a stone tablet. So make sure you go and take a listen to them over on JLJ Media on YouTube, because he's the only person that remembers when this all started on radio.
The Quiet Storm.
Dun, dun, dun. Well, hi, everybody. What a great week this was. What did we think about Days?
It was pretty emotional.
Yeah.
It was definitely eventful.
The pacing, I thought, oh, hello.
Oh, thank you so much, Betty Jane. We appreciate that. And happy Thanksgiving to you, too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and
Mama Moore.
Yay!
I'm Mama Moore.
And early, yeah.
That's a Thanksgiving treat.
Yes.
I love that she announces herself every time. Hello, Mom. Thank you for being in the chat, and I'm glad you found your way again. I told you it was easy. Michael Mattis, what were you saying about this week's episodes of Days?
No, the pacing, I thought things were happening very rapidly on Monday's episode, and kind of, after the promo last week and knowing what was about to happen, I was like, wow, are they really gonna just do this in like 2 episodes and get it done? But once the birth happened, then things started to slow down and they started to take their time. But it was 3 episodes of who said roller coaster? Araceli? Justin?
Did you say a roller coaster beforehand?
Did someone say roller coaster? It was a roller coaster.
You have now officially said that it's a roller coaster.
Yeah, good week though. Good week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was an amazing week. I was really impressed by performances this week from people. I think there are certain people who I think were great and were spotlighted, and then other people who I was like, they did a really great job and just rolled with the punches. And yeah, I was really impressed this week actually.
Yeah. Ditto. Mm-hmm.
Same. I thought it was a very interesting week. Some interesting twists to some storylines. Definitely progressing a few things. Very emotional, and some really brilliant standout performances. So let's break it on down, shall we? It is now time to start
Dishin
Days.
Hey.
Yeah. Oh, that was going to be like what? For Halloween next year, I'm gonna be the hourglass. I'm gonna do this.
Oh, that's cute. You're gonna flip yourself over.
I know, right? I know.
Yeah. I'm just gonna stand here like this the whole time.
Okay.
Thinking ahead. All right, so let's kick things off with our top storylines, and we are starting with "Hello, Baby, Goodbye." Who's MP?
Magical penis.
Oh, how could I forget? Surprise!
Surprise!
Okay, so many fans, I feel like, are kind of upset because
Shocking.
they feel like we're reliving a moment. This feels very reminiscent of the Mother's Day mayhem, which killed Adrian, got Sarah to go into labor, that trickled into the hospital where Haley was killed and all that stuff. So, yeah, but it was very. I mean, it was good though. I mean, it was very emotional. It was.
And you know, it's a different. It's like, oh, we're having another baby switch story, but it's a different spin on it, in that there's really only one baby at play. The other baby really wasn't an option because the adoption fell through, and and I felt like the explanation of why the adoption fell through was very like it made perfect sense to me, and I was like, oh yeah, the birth mother looked you up. You're right. She thinks you're raggedy. She doesn't want. She would rather keep looking or whatever. But yeah, I thought it was and you know, from all the babies, usually when you have a baby switch, you have two concurrent pregnancies, and then somebody. Sorry.
Switches. It's okay. It's WeHo. Are you okay? Are they coming after you?
I'm
Is your
good.
building on fire?
Not my building. Maybe a building down or. No, but usually, you know, like I said, you have the two ladies that are pregnant. The babies end up getting switched. It happened with Hope and Lexi. It happened with Kristen and Sarah. And this time it's really there's, like I said, there's just really only one baby at play, and then you have Leo and Dimitri, who are kind of like I guess the wild cards you'd call them, who are just in the circumstance, and you know, yeah. So it's another baby switch storyline, but it's done a different way. It's done in a unique way than was done before. So, and it was very. It's even though you know it's not real, like you know, like. You're like, Nicole, your baby's alive. But in her mind, just everything that was going on, I thought Ari played like the confusion very well, because, you know, I can't imagine giving birth, period, but giving birth in that situation.
Yeah. Sans painkillers. Oh.
Yeah, I loved Dimitri and Leo in the storyline. I thought it was a good addition, a good way to use them. And I like that it wasn't nefarious either. I think that the bad stuff came after their involvement but it wasn't because of them in a way.
Yeah.
Who is nefarious?
Huh?
Who is nefarious?
Not Leo and Dimitri.
Yes, exactly.
But what does that mean?
Bad intentioned. Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Bad intentioned?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you went into this situation knowing that you were going to screw up.
Got it. Okay.
You were going to do some shenanigans.
I think because Rickard was like the star of Monday and Tuesday. I just thought he was giving his usual like Leo shtick of like the campiness and stuff, but then I felt like he got really serious and he was really there for Nicole when it came to the baby, and he was sort of the one pushing on the heartstrings of like, we're not leaving her, we need to stay with her, we need to get this baby help. Like all of that was coming from him, which I thought was a good take.
Well, you know, I felt like for the first time I was like, Dimitri, you are selfish. Like he was just like, but the submarine. And Leo's like, but Nicole.
Well, and I had a moment where I was like, you know what, bitch, you want to go on your submarine, go on your submarine and leave Leo here to help the poor pregnant woman in distress.
On the floor.
An accident that you caused because of your nasty driving.
Yes.
Go on submarine and get the hell out of here.
Can we also just put it to a vote to every now and then just show people driving and making it to their destination? Because I feel like every time they show someone driving, it's like we're like, she ain't gonna make it.
She ain't gonna make it. But also they got to get the car. They got the car sets. They got to get the outdoor woodsy set for the crash to happen in.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they don't have to. No, what you're saying is they wouldn't have to because they made it to their destination and did not crash.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the logistics are of the car. I wouldn't think it's like you just drive a car onto the set and it's dark. You don't need a green screen or anything.
No, I mean, just every now and then, you know, can we just have a moment where they're like, hey, sorry, I'm running a little late, but like I'm 5 minutes away and I'll see you in a second.
Mm-hmm.
Just so we know that like, oh, okay, there are times where like they actually do make it.
Yeah.
No, but then they make it out of the car. So
yeah. Was it me or did anyone else like look at the car to be like, now what car is she driving?
Oh, it was someone actually they might be in the chat, but someone messaged me and was like, is Nicole driving a Toyota or something? Why isn't she? They were like making fun of the fact that she wasn't driving like a BMW. It was like
yeah, like
do
a
you have any idea what a brand new Toyota costs these days?
I know that.
I do.
I know, right?
They could have gotten a cheap car. Well, and I don't know, like it could have been something other than a Toyota. They could have made up they could be a made up luxury brand in
Salem?
What's it called? Salem. Yeah. But I guess the look of the car would need to match. Like it probably didn't look like a luxury car too. It wasn't just about the name, but
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I only need a car that fits a cart seat. She's fine. Anywho.
I just imagine them all driving. Like, what do the Kardashians drive? Like all those
A Land
Kardashian
Rover?
ladies drive the white
the Land
Land
Rovers
Rover?
and the
like Lambos or
Yeah.
what do you call them?
Oh,
They
are you
don't
talking about the
I drive a
Lamborghinis?
Hyundai, so I don't know. Or maybe Lincolns, Lincoln, or maybe they're too young for that.
Do you hear that? Oh, there you are.
What?
I feel like we were naming all this stuff, and Michael Masters was just like, no, I think it's just like and I'm like, did he hear all the suggestions? Okay, we just make it check. Mic check. 1, 2. Michael
You
Masters.
just
Hello,
need
hello.
a car that has a car seat. That's
A car seat.
yes. Just a space to put in the car seat. So
Listen,
that's it.
no, this is another like glint, not Misty Circle. Y'all are so shady. No, here's the thing. It's like, and it didn't dawn on me because again, we rarely like see them in cars, and when we do, they're about to crash. But when they showed the car for the first time, I was like, oh, what does she drive? Like I didn't for 2 seconds, I was like, she'll be fine. Like she's gonna come on and have the baby in a second. But what kind of car does she drive?
Yeah.
But I wonder if like if I wonder with production, is there ever a thought to that? You know what I mean? Like as actors, we always create our backstories and stuff like that. But does production ever go, okay, so Nicole is driving, we're gonna need a car. Do they go, well, what kind of car would Nicole have? Like, where is she working right now? Like, she's with EJ, so would it, or do they just go, what car's available? Got it. And then they just like put it in. Like, is there any thought to?
Yeah.
She's
I don't know.
a
Maybe I
mom
just
who
think
has
like
a
that.
teenager and is about to have a newborn. All
A
she needs is
single
a
mom
comfortable
who
SUV.
works 2 jobs, who loves.
But that I can't see Nicole driving like a minivan or anything.
No.
No, she doesn't have enough kids for that. Just the small,
Shall we put this to a poll?
I love it.
Hold on. Let me write this down. We're gonna I'm gonna ask. Name a character and the car you think they should drive.
What is this game?
I love this game. Name the character. You can check this out on our Instagram, and then you have to name the character and the car you think they would drive.
Oh, God.
And you can also include color if you want to. If you're a car person, you want. But name the character and the car they drive. That will be posted on our Instagram soon. Listen, I like it. The funniest thing was where people would work.
Yeah, those are funny.
And somebody said, someone was like nowhere because no one else seems to work, and someone else was like Demira Enterprises because the boss changes every week.
Right.
Okay. That's
anyways.
So when as Sloane was about to exit her apartment and the door opened and it was Dimitri, I was like, "What are you doing there?"
Yeah.
But then I thought, "Oh, that's smart because
Get a lawyer.
it's like, oh, he's gonna get her to walk him into the hospital so that way, you know, he's like immune. He's like, I'm protecting the baby, but got to go to the submarine, and then like he can hit it. Oh, but okay, but then Melinda had the bright idea of this is your baby.
Yeah,
like this, we're gonna pretend this and hatch the plan of taking the baby, finding a cricket doctor to check the baby finally, because that baby was alive and popping for a few hours before somebody finally looked at it.
exactly.
And then the doctor to deliver the news that Nicole's baby had died. I would like to know what was y'all's reaction to this whole plan and seeing the plan unfold. How did you feel about it?
I think there's a collective kind of shock that it's Melinda who has come up with this plan.
Okay.
And I don't, to expand on that, I don't really understand her motivation here. Like, what is she getting out of this? Like, to come up with this plan and to do all this, you would think, like, I was missing, like, I'm like, what is she getting out of this? Like, she's keeping her one friend. I'm like, Sloane would probably still be your friend if you didn't do this.
Yeah.
Or, you know, and they did have that scene with just Melinda and the baby, which, I mean, gave a little bit more context about how, you know, and it was almost like she just didn't want EJ to raise the baby. She didn't think that EJ or he'd be safe, or the baby would be safe with EJ as a parent, and that she had to give her baby up. And so there was a little, I was like, okay, I guess I can understand. It was just such a devious, concocted plan and I was just confused. Like, she's doing all this, and what's in it for her?
Yeah, for me, when Dimitri showed up, I was a little confused because I was like, wait, does he know about the baby stuff? And then I was like, he can't know about that. So it took me, they needed to explain it for a minute that he was going there to get a lawyer, because I was like, oh, why would he show up with baby in tow to her? Why not? They showed him going into the hospital and then turning around and leaving, but I'm like, you couldn't have like handed the baby off to a nurse around the corner. Like, that was a little clunky, I thought. So I was a little confused about that until it was like, oh, he's just really there. He has no knowledge of the baby stuff. He's just there to get Sloane's help.
Yeah, and protect himself.
With you, Michael, I was kind of on the same token. I think it's a combination of the fact that she's always hated EJ. So this technically, it's, as far as they think, it's EJ's baby. She knows it's not. She's also helping her friend Sloane, and I think she's also just trying to win something. I think she's reeling off of the fact that she's been losing for years now, and that she got fired because of it. This is now her one client who's also her friend, and she needs to win it, that she needs to succeed. I think it's a mix of all those three things that sort of propelled her to even come up with this. Yeah, it's not really in her wheelhouse to like think of something this kind of like diabolical. And it was interesting that Sloane was real. She had to convince Sloane of it. Like, Sloane's the one who switched fraternity tests and all this stuff, but she was sort of drawing the line at this. So I thought it was interesting that.
Yeah, Sloane was ready to. Sloane, for her credit, was ready to just finish it all and be done with it.
And I do give her credit for that. It really seemed like it does seem like things have evolved enough with her and Eric that she really is like, no, I want this for him. Like, having a baby was never my life plan, but this is what I want for him. Like, I just want to make him happy. But
for me, I kind of had the same feeling that I had when they were trying to blackmail Kristen by using Rachel.
Mhm.
There's a little bit of like a, ooh, like I almost like how Sloan was feeling like, ooh, I don't know about this. Like this is that's a bit much. But it's also because when you know the history of Nicole and you know the struggles of her getting pregnant, the whole fake pregnancy, kidnapping Sydney, and all the stuff that she's gone through. I think we all, when we found out she was pregnant, kind of went, ooh, and we were praying that she was able to, have the baby to term, and everything seemed to be going fine. For her to deliver this baby prematurely, the baby seems to still be in good health.
Yeah.
And to receive that devastating news that her baby has died, I was so devastated by that because I was just like, why y'all keep doing this to this woman? Why do y'all keep beating her down so much when it comes to kids? Sure, we've gone through Eva Nicole, we've gone through Nicole trying to like electrocute, Victor with the toaster. We've gone through, cheating Nicole, we all of that, right? But I think this is the one thing where we get a little sensitive because it's just like, and when Ari Zucker, delivered that performance in the hospital, it was even more gut wrenching because it was just like, damn, y'all just can't let her just have something. And I think I saw Brian Miller said, when this all comes out, we need the exact same scene that Sammy and Nicole had with Sydney. We need that with Sloan because I want Nicole to slap the dog piss out of Sloan and Melinda Trax.
Yeah.
It's more like I say, I feel like eventually down the line, when this all unravels, it's gonna be like, I feel like Sloane's gonna be the one to like down the road actually like confess or whatever.
Oh,
I
really?
think this is more like, or maybe Melinda would be, I don't know. It just, with Sloane's hesitation, I feel like that's going to be the story going forward, that yes, they have the baby, Eric's happy, but Sloane always knows in the back of her mind that it's Nicole's baby and not hers.
Yeah.
But I did think, Ari did a good job. And there was also like, you could tell there was some almost guilt because she's like, I gave my baby, like Dimitri, or Leo and Dimitri convinced me to give the baby to Dimitri to take to the hospital. And you could see like there was some guilt there. Just like, how could I give, and it was just like heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching.
Yeah.
But and we're down talking Melinda, she's like the mastermind behind all this. Again, that scene with her and the baby where she had that monologue and was just kind of talking to the baby, and I just feel like Tina and Tina Hang, is that how you pronounce her last name?
I think
Hong. Tina Hong. Tina Hong like kills every performance she's in, whether she's like when she was convincing Sloane, and then that emotional scene, and then when she was trying to convince the doctor, like she needs, like I think she needs a permanent place on the show. And she could be like, she can still be villainous and be on the show, like Kristen, you know what I mean? Like she could be another Kristen type character.
Yeah.
But she sells it for me, and I really enjoy watching.
Yeah. I mean, Ari killed it this year, this week. I said this year because as we have seen, the daytime Emmys are coming up. We're still dealing with last year's performances for that, but I'm already looking at the canvas, and this is Ari's reel for lead actress for next year.
Yeah.
For sure. She is like a contender. And when I tell you that category is going to be stacked next year, I think she has like a real shot of just shooting up and taking the whole thing. I mean, because like you said, it's just like, this is what the 1, 2, 3rd time that we put this character through this. And I'm kind of actually shocked that I think maybe just because now everyone likes Nicole, that I haven't seen as many people bring up the really I mean, it's awful, but it's the irony of the fact that hey, this is the exact same thing that Nicole did to Sammy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Literally exactly the same thing, including taking the baby and giving it to its rightful father.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but also I felt in that scene when EJ got the news as well, he went to a completely different place. Like you could tell he just zoned out. And there was a moment where I thought, I wonder if he's thinking about all the things that he's done and he feels like this is almost karma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so like as he stood there in shock, it was just like, ooh. And then, you know, I didn't mind Johnny and Holly's response to the news, because I think automatically there are people in the room that will lose it, and then there are people who become comforters, right? And I think in that moment, both Johnny and Holly turned to, I feel bad, this is horrible, but I can't break down too.
Yeah.
Therefore, I have to kind of be stronger in this moment. So Johnny was stronger for EJ, Holly was stronger for Nicole. So like, because can you imagine if all of them, like they got the news and everybody did some sort of big dramatic, like, you know, cry, like, you know, Holly, you know, looked at Johnny, was just like, and that was her time to like also kind of caress him as well. But the reactions were good, but you just felt so much power from Nicole, and you felt so much, you know, sadness and just like, you know, disbelief and slight anger and just so many emotions. So like that was,
Okay. Can we talk about, is Holly the worst person to have an emergency? Like, the fact that she didn't call EJ, that was like a glaring omission. I was like, are you trying to tell us something? Like, I understand, like, Eric was saying
I didn't
the information, but
you know, I kind of until EJ blew up at her, I didn't even like, for me, because she, I guess from her experience, like she was with Eric. Eric's going to find her. I guess, I just didn't realize it was an oversight until
she's a kid, and that's what we have to remember. She is in all aspects of any storyline she's in right now. She's still a kid.
Yeah,
but you still
call EJ or tell, even if you're not thinking of call EJ, like call multiple people. It's not just about like tell Eric and he's going to save her. It's like, call everyone, get everyone involved. Like,
no, there was a whole thing with that. First of all, that like when she kind of found out like that there might be something wrong, there's no way in the world you completely forgot about that app where you can locate each other. Like before then, you just ain't ever used it, and then when you finally remembered, you didn't call EJ to be like, oh, hey, I know you're out looking for my mom.
Yeah.
But I have the app. You go to the Brady Pub and go, I think something's happened to my mom, Eric. And it's like, Eric ain't got nothing to do with it. You need to be calling EJ, who's already out there. So then who's the first to arrive to the scene? Eric.
Yeah.
And then and then I was just like, why y'all got EJ doing all this other thing? You have lived in Salem long enough to know that if she was on her way home, you know exactly what that path is. You know, it's Salem, small town USA. Yeah. You know what the path is from the Brady Pub to the house. So
apparently, one of the characters mentioned, said there's like, oh no, there's like 5 ways to get there. But even so, it's only 5. They can't be that long.
All of them, yeah.
And they can't take that much. Like, go to one, drive down one. Okay, not there. Number 2.
But But you're gonna go to the one that everybody else has crashed at, because even though there's
was this the same route that Tamara Ava and Susan crashed?
Probably.
That was the same.
And you would think he was there. You know, he was there for that.
He was there too. So listen, it's like y'all know these routes. Like you heard her go, and crashed. So therefore, you know what street that is. Why don't you go there? You went to the police station, which, by the way, Rafe was like, listen, I got other stuff to worry about. I was like, oh, so
I'd be less interested in that.
Yeah,
so you can't be bothered.
I take issue with that. I really do. Like, he's not saying that maybe she was in a car crash. He's saying, no, I heard her crash.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get that they're not together anymore, but it's like Rafe was there for both of Nicole's pregnancy losses.
Yeah,
once on Sammy's side, and the other time he was firmly on Nicole's side.
Mm-hmm.
So he saw her go through all of that. So how is he not more concerned?
Yeah, I felt like that was very negligent on Rafe's part, especially with his gold star now being in the hospital, the one that figures out everything. That commission, you would think he would step up. And yeah, the history of him and Nicole, like, I know they, their most recent history didn't end well and whatever, but there's still a longer history there. And you would think the fact that it was Nicole would have been a factor in him, like, putting more manpower on or doing more to look for her instead of just being like, I got other shit to deal with.
Any other police officer, highly pregnant woman in a car crash.
Yeah.
Stop what you're doing immediately.
We'll see. Well, let's see if Paulina, has something to say about it next week.
And then no one else drove by. Like, no one else, no looky loo was kind of like, just
yeah.
Y'all all right?
You good?
I'll call.
Yeah. Are you okay?
I'll call.
It's okay to be a good Samaritan.
So
there's actually law. Are there still good Samaritan laws in this country where if you see something happening and you don't help, that's like a crime?
I think if it's like a serious crime being committed in front of you, I think if it's like potentially could be, but yeah, if you see it's just
if you see something, say something.
If you see something, say something. I've seen, oh my God, I've seen I don't know how many drunk people like cross me on major highways, and I'm immediately on the phone like, something's gonna happen.
Like license plate EL526.
Yeah.
I hope that's no one's real license plate. Whoops.
Sorry about it.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. Okay, so back to the Holly situation of it all. Even though, yeah, it was an oversight on her part. I didn't like the way EJ talked to her. Like, I was just like, okay, asshole. Like, it was an oversight. She's where, she.
I know. I don't think he would normally talk to her that way. But if not for the fact that he was just off the heels of getting absolutely nothing out of Rafe.
He was upset. He was frustrated. So
he was frustrated.
I get it.
He was teetering and frustrated, and he took it out on her. I don't think he meant to do that. I think he was just I think he took out his frustrations from Rafe out on Holly.
But it's also the fact of, you knew I was out there looking for your mom. Why didn't you call me? It's like this. It's like your mom going to the grocery store and being like, do you need anything? Mm-hmm. No, Mom. She comes back with all these groceries and stuff. And then you go, oh, for tomorrow, I need to bring cookies to a party that we're having at school. Your mom's going to be like, I was just at the grocery store.
If you were that kid, oh my God. Like we were all at least that kid once or know that kid. Oh man.
It's like, and then it's like, get in the car.
Yeah, it's like I know that we want to treat kids with kid gloves, but occasionally you do have to call the kid out.
Well, yeah.
You do have to call, like, say, this is stupid.
It's like the second she remembered that, she should have contacted DJ and been like, do. Now, then if she also told Eric, fine. But I mean, we all know this was just a way for her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Someone mentioned earlier that they wanted us to talk about Tate and him still wanting a little something in the middle of all this.
Okay.
Mess.
Okay. All right. In Tate's defense, and I know that people might jump down my throat, but in Tate's defense, he wasn't forceful. He was asking a question. It was bad timing. But this is one of those things where like he's just a stupid teenager.
See, I thought he was correct, and Holly just got scared and then tried to backpedal and say she wasn't. I thought she was going to kiss him, and then she stopped.
She
and
was.
like, yeah. But
No.
she like flipped it on him and made it sound like he was doing it.
Yeah,
It's like,
she got
no,
defensive. He got defensive. They're just being
Yeah.
stupid teenagers.
Yeah.
But my issue was the timing of it. Like, okay, yes,
Yeah.
she was going to kiss. Yes, there was something there. Wait till she finds out her mom's okay. Like, wait till the Nicole stuff settles down. Now, he didn't know the full scope of what was going on.
Yeah.
I don't think, right? But,
No.
But just in the middle of it, just wait till the next morning and be like, so I thought I felt a little something between us, and I didn't want to bring it up because your mom was in distress, but
I'm not gonna get on Tate about when he asked the question. He is obviously a mature enough young man to start communication about a situation. And we all ask for men to communicate. And that's what he did. He said there was something that was about to happen. I need clarification, and I'm going to communicate to this. So that way I'm just not assuming. So kudos to you, Tate, for communicating and trying to get clarification, even though it was the wrong time, but you still wanted to have a conversation.
All these people in the chat room, they're just being like, teenage boys. I'm like, that.
No, I'm not gonna. No, it doesn't excuse it. You still call it out and say it was wrong,
which Holly did.
Yes, which she did, but it doesn't mean that he's not like a pervert. He's not a jerk. He just had bad timing.
Well, also,
I agree.
I just hate that they're making Tate seem like he's like how do I want to put this? It's making it seems like he isn't picking up on cues. Like there's something there between him and Holly.
Yeah.
And it's been there since they met, but it's confusing because she's trying to act like I'm only in love with Johnny DeMera. And it's like, no, you're not.
No,
you have a crush on him, which is great, but that heart is Peter Pattering for some Tate Black. Wait, is he Tate Black?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Robichaux.
And he's picking up what you're putting down, but you trying to act like you put down something else.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't put down crayons and then be like, just kidding, they're color pencils. No, they're not. They're crayons, and I'm picking them up.
Yeah, this is the part where it's like somebody Dylan's pointing out that he's Brady's son. Okay, yes. Here's the thing. All that stuff, all this miscommunication and all this drama stuff, it's appropriate for teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. 30 years down the line, not so cute. All this miscommunication, all of this bad timing and stuff, it's appropriate because they're teenagers and it's awkward as hell. 20, 30 years down the line when you're a grown-ass adult and should know better, no, that's not pretty.
Well, unfortunately, it still happens.
Yes.
Because common sense ain't common.
This is true.
All right, well, we have run that into the ground. We literally spent like 40 minutes talking about this.
There was a lot to unload and a lot to,
There's a lot to unload. There's a lot to unpack. There's a lot of people.
Go ahead, Araceli. Sorry.
I just want to give kudos because we didn't touch on this. Kudos to Jada, the top cop. Who can just, she's so good that she can just accidentally run into people that she needs to arrest.
Well, I think it was harping on her really bad that she let them get away. Like
she was upset. We were upset that I was upset. I was like, listen, no, not Jada. Come on.
But it was unexpected. It was 2 against 1. Like she didn't know, but that really got to, like, she was in the hospital like
Mhm.
I'm ready to go. Like I gotta like fire up the mystery machine. I gotta go get a perk. But when she ran into Leo, it was like, let's finish what we started. And I was like, oh, not you getting arrested.
And then he tried to pull like the ding dong ditch and get out.
He tried, but Rafe was right
going
there.
somewhere. The one time Rafe was, right place at the right time.
But the thing about it is that Leo was talking too much. Like all he had to say was,
as usual.
He could have been like, fine, you win, and
Right.
just like hit it. You know what I mean? Like.
So do we think Dimitri, like it appears he went and met his mama in the submarine. Like, do we think he's actually gone now? Do we think like his part is done and now, but then what's left for Leo?
Not sure.
No, I feel like it's maybe just a break, or we'll see him soon.
Or do you think he's we saw that scene where it looked like his intent was to leave, but
yeah, but we didn't actually see him leave. So
we didn't see him get on a submarine. So
50-50 at this point.
I think maybe this was my thought. I was like, maybe he'll just go away for a little bit. Like he went and caught the submarine. He's gonna like readjust, and then he's gonna come back and figure it out. Yeah. Because I think right now his back was against the wall. Like, what could he do? He couldn't walk into the police station. He couldn't walk into the hospital. He can't, keep like hiding. Like he has to like go away and just reconfigure things and then come back.
Yeah.
He needs to get his edge back. I still wanted him to be more like an EJ of a Demira, more than like a Scooby-Doo villain that he ended up being.
I like his sort of aloof disposition.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yes, y'all ain't the only one that knows how to use fancy words. Aloof disposition, honey.
You've been watching Jeopardy.
Wheel of Fortune, probably.
So actually,
more
Wheel
my
of Fortune
speed.
is more my speed. Yep, mine too. But I like that there is a bit of an edge, but it's a bit of a kind of edge to it.
Where are you?
Oh my God! Not every time like some mystery happens, y'all are gonna just imagine him like doing that running, and then in the car just like.
Survive for a reason.
Surprise, surprise. Who's that scoundrel under there? Constantine. I'm just kidding. Well, speaking of Constantine, let's move on to Constantine kidnaps kid from the Caucasus. You know what? I will say this. I have to give kudos to Constantine. Because when Steve Johnson called him out, he was like, I told a little white lie because I saw it made her happy.
Mm-hmm.
Victor would have wanted to see Maggie happy. So I did it for Victor.
And Steve.
My friend.
And Steve,
Victor,
who knew Victor, was pretty much channeling Victor in that moment. Like, I call BS.
Well, listen, this is what Steve Johnson said. And Steve Johnson, without saying it, said, I hear your story, but I'm watching you with that one eye.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he only has one.
We buy nothing.
He leaves it on way too thick. I know he's like, of course, acting and playing a role of schmoozing, but it's so thick and so over the top that I like the performance, but I mean him as the character is over the top too.
Are you talking about Steve or Constantine?
Constantine, yeah.
His outgoing voice message cracked me up, and I don't know why. When
his
Teresa
voicemail.
called him, and his outgoing voice message it was Teresa, right? She called him. And
Yeah.
This is Constantine. Please leave a message. And it's like, I don't know. It cracked me up because first of all, it was loud, and I'm like, it reminded me of my dad's outgoing voicemail because I know my dad was like doing this and shouting into the phone.
Listen, Constantine said, I don't have time to deal it down. I'm old. I gotta get this money.
Yeah.
Like Teresa can be on the long haul, but ain't no long and haul on these bones. Okay,
It's getting icky though. It's like I'm sorry, but now every time I see him, I'm getting more and more uncomfortable.
but to them, he's just the sweetest, and he's friends with Victor. He's doing it for Victor. Victor.
I'm surprised he hasn't used Hope's name to like ingratiate himself a little bit, or like to throw that around. Because remember, he had a good relationship with Hope, or from like was it Beyonce?
Beyonce,
yeah.
Victor. Now, when he went in for the kiss, I was like, "Hold on, buddy."
Okay, yeah, too much.
Ew.
Victor.
Ew.
I was like, now, how long has Victor been gone? Like a month?
Yeah.
Not even.
Yeah, Victor would have popped out of the grave and shoved him down the stairs.
Maggie ain't ready for all that.
Put a toaster in his bathtub.
Right. Maggie is not ready for no Constantine, honey. She just lost Victor. Everybody's like,
you know who needs to give him a lesson in manners and timing?
Who?
Well, maybe not timing. Tate.
Well, I don't know about from Tate because
just ew.
Well, I think another moment that was kind of like was when he was like kidnap Victoria to make him look like the hero.
Yeah.
And I was just like, where y'all getting these plans from? Like,
Teresa took great satisfaction in hitting him over the head and punching him in the face. I would have too.
Listen.
Well, I like how she did it in mid-sentence. Because he was like blah blah blah, and then she just like cold cocked him right in the face.
Shut up.
Also, there wasn't really a mark after. I thought like we were.
There was no bruise.
There was no bruise, and I was like, he had that like little cut. I think here when I was like, oh, you could have like done that yourself. Like,
I was expecting like a black eye.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
like,
he would walk into the Kiriakis
actual bruising,
and it would be a big black eye, and they'd be like, oh my god, Constantine.
It doesn't come right away, it's scars, and then like the next day he's gonna wake up and it's like, oh, it's a shiner. I mean, listen, I've never had a black eye because I'm a lover, not a fighter. But from those people who have, that's what it seems like to me.
It takes about a good 24 hours for heavy bruising to develop.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you guys think that's what the kidnapping would be? I thought it would be one of those where we saw him on the floor and then like he said like I fought off someone. That's what I thought it was going to be. I didn't know he was going to have her take the baby off the premises and like go out looking for her, kind of a thing.
Well, I was kind of miffed that like someone like Xander and Sarah just sat there and we're just sat there and we're like taking pauses and blah blah blah. I'm like, go outside and look for her.
I know they were
like go out and look for her instead of making like the 90-year-old man who you don't quite know run out the door and do it.
He's not 90.
Oh, he's not 90. I'm exaggerating. He's like 80, 75 maybe. But I kind of figured, I was like, oh, this is what he's gonna do. He wants to ingratiate himself to Sarah, particularly because of the conversation he overheard with Maggie. And he's gonna save the day now. And so when he got up to like go, I'm like, oh, this is what he's gonna Teresa's with the baby, he's gonna go. Like I see, I got his number, and apparently it worked. And so, well, we'll see if it worked, if it actually worked to ingratiate himself with Sarah. But then it also, now here we are again. Now there's a what am I trying to say? A repeating pattern with Sarah and Xander again, where, oh, we think they're gonna like, make a deal. No, we're going to court. I'm going to get Eric to testify against you. I'm going to get I'm getting Brady to testify against you. And I'm just like, oh, you both are terrible right now. Just you guys want to make a deal. And I think it's more on Sarah that now it's just a pissing contest.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think she's forcing herself to still go with this narrative that Xander is going to be dangerous for the kid or whatever. Now it's just a power move. She was upset that he got Eric, which he was probably upset that he didn't like cut that in the timing he should have.
Yeah.
So she's like, okay, fine, checkmate. I'm going to get Brady to testify against you. And it's just like, oh, y'all, just settle it. Like,
I mean, listen, at one point, it was just like, Xander, just drop it. Just drop the case. Because then it was like, oh, yeah, we still have to go to court. So now after all this, after this fake kidnapping and everything, y'all still got to go to court?
like, oh.
It's like, and then she's like, we're going to have to postpone. I just can't do it. I'm like, y'all shouldn't be doing it. Like, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I'm over it. Lock them both in a room without food or a bathroom until they can figure it out.
I really hope that this event and like how they ended things on Friday about, oh, maybe Xander was like, oh, well, maybe I should drop the case.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, if they do another round of this, like, oh, he's about to drop the case, then someone comes in and says something shitty and he changes his mind and we go again. I'm like, oh, let this be like the road to peace.
Yeah.
For these two. Because I'm as much as I love and like when they have those scenes, when Sarah and Xander have those scenes where they're arguing, like they really get into it and they're actually really enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
But now I just want them to like be friendly with each other.
You want them to get it. It's like, can we stop? Can we stop? Can we? Does this have to be? It's very mommy dearest. Why must everything be a contest? That's what it feels like. It's like we don't need that. Like y'all can both watch Victoria. I almost said Mackenzie. Y'all can both watch Victoria. And it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Y'all don't really hate each other. Y'all just hate what's happening. Like, Xander, you mad because she was going to keep the baby from you. Sarah, you mad because you didn't realize you done kept the baby from him, but you didn't need to because he wasn't as bad as you thought. And then you both denying your feelings for each other. Just go ahead and get it on. Make another baby.
Two strong-willed individuals that can't let go of it.
Just can't take accountability.
Yeah.
See, what Tony said was the very like long-winded roundabout version. I'm at the point where I'm just gonna lock them both in the bathroom and not let them come out until they figure it out.
I was gonna say no.
And that's at the point. That's at the point where they'll make another baby, like Tony said.
Yes.
Oh, wait, what'd you say?
Y'all hungry? I'm sorry. Have you figured it out? Nope. I'm sorry. What's this? I have French fries. What? You're hungry? You want some? You can't have any until you figure it out.
And you can't have any either, because I see you trying to sneak them French fries. Don't you dare try to act like you were trying to use that as a scenario. Then when you were trying to sneak them French fries. No, it wasn't no problem. You was trying to sneak one of them French fries. We said at the beginning of the show, don't you eat them French fries during the show? And you was really trying to eat them French fries during the show.
Okay, and I feel your point, Brad K. We would be complaining if everything just simply worked itself out and things were boring. Yeah, but after a while, you need to have a moment where things work out.
Yeah,
and it's been too long where they've been back and forth, and oh, we should like just peace for a minute, and then bring them another piece of drama once they figure out the baby stuff.
It's also because before the case was even brought up, they had that whole discussion where they were realizing like what each other had done and everything like that, and then it looked like then they were gonna maybe rekindle and get back together now that the air is clear. Then ring-a-ding-ding comes Justin Kiriakis to Sarah talking about, well, Xander's suing you for full custody, and she's like, what?
Bitch, what?
And then it just went all out of the window. Instead of just being like, why are you suing me for full custody? And then you talk about that, and then you just look at him and go, drop it.
Yeah.
Would have been over.
And to her credit, Maggie, was, and I feel like Maggie was being good about gently, like, I don't know. I felt like Maggie did what she should have done as a mom, like said her piece, but then wasn't, too forceful about it.
Mhm.
Maggie said, I'm gonna say this, and then ever since then, after she said what she said, she's like, "What do you need from me?"
Yeah.
She's just like, if you gonna keep going, what do you need? You need me to support you? Fine, I support you. You want me to sit up in court? Fine, I sit up in court. You want me to testify? Fine, I testify. Like Maggie's just like, listen, I'm not gonna keep telling you what to do. You were grown. If you
She did
wanna
have that
listen- if
moment
you
where
wanna listen
she
to
was
me,
like,
fine.
she was frustrated, but at the same time, she was like, okay, well, what do you need from me, or what can I do?
Yeah.
For you?
Yeah, she's like, I got my own problems over here. I got
And
a
she
dead
has, yeah.
husband with a portrait above the mantle with him in clouds. Like I have other things I need to deal with. And coming off of the heels of Vivian trying to act like she was the person over it.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
Like she was the HBIC.
and she was wrong, honey. All right, well, let's keep this train moving, y'all. We're gonna move on from that situation and go into we think you should just be single. Wait, what?
Oh my God.
Well, actually, based on the poll that we did last week, everyone thinks
right.
that she should be with Alex.
Oh right, single was the second. It was like
Single
the
was the
choices
second
were
one.
Alex, be single,
Chad.
and then Chad and Everett.
Chad, Alex, Everett, be single, and everyone put Alex, and in a very close second, it was just be single.
Mhm.
But I feel you because after this week, when Everett was like, "Whew, you really get around."
I know. It was like,
Excuse you. You know
Yeah.
what? She should, and you know what? If I were Stephanie, like I feel like she handled that very well, and I feel like Stephanie should have owned it and been like, "Yeah, I'm hot.
Yeah.
Like, what you want?"
I'm hot. I'm
You were in a
successful.
coma.
I have my own business.
Had to
I
get my
look
record scratched
good. Like
somewhere.
I'm
Yeah.
snatched.
But
like,
to his credit, I'm gonna
did
give
you
it
say
to.
get your record scratch somewhere?
I was like, she needed,
You look nasty.
But to
So
to
uncouth.
Everett's credit, I'm actually gonna be on his side for this one because, again, if you don't like the truth, don't ask for it.
But
That's
she
the
ain't
thing.
bouncing around like she the town hussy.
yeah,
Yeah.
she did it
she's not
too,
the town
man.
doorknob.
No, I'm talking about like when they had that bet and he laid it all out. He laid the whole truth of who she is, of her relationship with Chad, right on in front of her, and she didn't want to hear it.
Well, what does he know? This is coming from the person who walked to the mailbox to put a letter in the mailbox and got hit by a car, and then didn't even get assigned John Doe so that someone can find said John Doe, but set up in a hospital in a coma, and now waking up talking about I need a job. You go back to sleep.
And yet he still spoke 100% of the truth. Where was the lie in anything that he said? I think it would have been different.
That's what was frustrating to me because I don't like Everett yet. And I'm like, so everything he says, in my opinion, is wrong, but he was right. I just didn't like the fact that it was coming from him. You know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, he's right. What the F you know? You've been in a coma for years, which I still don't buy. We still haven't seen any medical bills.
Take me to the hospital.
He's playing.
Show me the room. Who's the nurse that
What was your
attended
doctor's
to me?
name?
What was on this? What was on the menu?
Don't tell me it was that Melinda doctor. Don't tell me it was that Melinda doctor.
It wasn't completely unsolicited. That's the point I'm trying to make, is that Stephanie agreed to hear what he had to say. If you don't want to hear what someone has to say, then keep shutting it down or walk away. You have the full power. You got two legs. Use them. Walk out the door. You didn't have to stay in that conversation.
Well, first of all,
you chose to stay there, hear what he had to say. You didn't like what he had to say.
But I didn't nobody ask him to say that.
But she could have walked away. Yes, they did. Yes, they had that bet thingy.
But he's also working an angle here. He's not being like a concerned friend who's looking out for her best interest.
She knows that. She has her eyes wide open. But to everyone else, she has her eyes wide open. But when it comes to Chad, he's right. She has a blind spot. And my biggest, I think the part that she's not connecting here, unfortunately, is because she was in town at that time, is that this is now becoming very much a Chad problem, because this is a pattern of behavior with Chad. not just in his relationship with Stephanie, but in his relationship with Abigail. It was the same issue.
Well, the issue that I'm having with Chad is that it's like you can't keep getting mad and jealous over these boys. Like, we just went through everything with Alex. Now insert Everett. Now, granted, does he have every right to be a little suspicious? Yes. But be like Steve with Constantine. Keep one eye on him. And see what he does. Nobody asked you to put in an offer for the Spectator and then trying to act like, well, it's for Abigail and the kids. No, it's for you to be to see what's going on with Everett and be able to have a bit of hold on him. Just like you tried to get a hold with Alex.
Okay, so even if, like, I was thinking about this and I'm like, okay, so Chad, okay, so two people have the majority stakes in the Spectator. What's his name? Xander
and Gwen.
Xander and Gwen. So even if he gets one of them to sell him there, he still has to, like, not just automatically. So is he doing this just to keep a closer eye on him? Or was the motive to try to boot him out of the Spectator as a power play?
He wants him gone.
He wants him out. So it's flawed. Even if Gwen agrees to sell him her share or her part of it, he still has to. Xander has already said, like, he's happy. He wants to give Everett, his first story was a big, he got good, analytics or whatever from it. So, like, it's not a slam dunk. And he's taking it as, like,
I think he thinks he can convince Xander, or like he can, whatever. He'll get someone else for the job or do whatever he needs. But I was surprised he went to Xander first. I'm glad that they covered it up. Huh?
He's in town.
Yeah, but I was thinking if you get Xander's, you're now in business with Gwen automatically. So
Gwen in town.
Yeah, but
see, that's where, like,
I think he'd rather be in business with Xander than Gwen. So why would he should have went to Gwen first? Which again, they sort of corrected that with him going there.
Well, and you know what, Justin, you make a good point. Chad is not good at being bad. This is a prime example. Yeah. Like, he's not good at this underhanded Demira, like. EJ, like, it was EJ's idea. I'm sure EJ would have handled it completely different and would have thought of that first. But Chad's trying to use his Demira-ness. That's a word. But it's not working.
Pardon my uncouthness.
Your pardon.
He's not good at being bad. He is good at being an asshole.
Wow.
Heyo.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Nothing turns off a woman more than jealousy and possessiveness. Nothing, like, it's the most immediate turnoff.
Well, he just keeps trying to control people around Steph, and it's like, first it was Alex, now it's Everett, and it's just like,
where have we seen this before? Where? Oh, I know, with Abigail, when Jake came to town. Oh, that's right. And did he take that well? No. What did he do? Oh, yeah, he slept with Gwen and got her pregnant. Oh, yeah.
You are very much not Team Chad today.
No.
Because you just had a whole conversation about what he had done, already had her, sis.
She had the...
Reasons why I do not like Chad and why he's repeating history by Araceli. All right. Well, we'll see.
It was nice to see Gwen. I thought that
was Well, okay.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
The benefit of having the actress still on set. Yeah.
But here's the thing. And this is not a testament to Emily's amazing talent. But as fans, honey, we are struggling because we are trying to get used to her now as Teresa. Now y'all done popped her in as Gwen, and now we all
episode back that she's Teresa too.
And we got to hit the reset button because we're confused again. There was another fan, I think, in here that said something about like it's too confusing, and I'm like, listen. I, am a fan with open arms always, right? And I am happy that Emily has stepped in and stepped up as Teresa, and I think she's doing a great job as Teresa. And I'm getting to a place of, I see her as Teresa, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when that phone call happened, I was like, ooh, I feel a little setback because, I mean, she's great as Gwen too, but it's like I'm trying to see her as Teresa. I see her as Teresa. I should say that I see her as Teresa because she's doing so great. Like she has the voice and the timbre and the mannerisms and the things that Teresa would do. But it's like you then insert her as Gwen, and it's like it would almost be like, I don't know. Well, no, because he's been playing Alex for a while. But if all of a sudden one day it's like, hey everybody, I'm Ben Weston, it'd be like, ooh, okay, so we gotta, okay, you're Ben.
They did have Rob played Ben for like one episode, but it was a little more. Alex was not
wasn't in the episode.
Yeah,
he was not in that episode. No, it was like they separated the two. I mean, I went with it.
I mean,
but
yeah,
I can see how others would be, and then having Everett, aka Nick Fallon, we're trying to accept him as this new character, and then you're putting both of Emily's characters on the same day, granted in different locations, different hair, blah blah blah. But yeah, I can see why there'd be frustration.
Yeah, I also felt it was a little subliminal of like, okay, if y'all not down with this Teresa thing, we still got her. She can be Gwen any minute now. Like, you know what I mean?
Want Gwen back?
We can pull her back. Yeah, it was like, want Gwen back? We can get her back really quickly.
We can make sure it happens.
Yeah.
Speaking of Teresa, and if we're not done talking about the Everett stuff yet, we forgot to talk about like the Basic Black stuff, the Bella magazine Basic Black stuff.
Yeah.
I actually think that in a perfect world where Teresa didn't turn Alex's world upside down, they would make a great pairing. They would make a great work team. They would make a great love match. But this is just all the calm before the storm. Yeah. I still don't get Brady being a total asshat to her.
Yeah.
Like,
but that's Brady.
Every time.
That's just Brady. Brady's
like, again, it's like, like, what has she done to you recently? Like, what has she actually done to you that you know of recently?
Well, I think Brady's like, she up to something. Oh yeah, she is up to something.
But why borrow trouble?
Gonna figure it out. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like adding on layer and layer and deepening the relationship, because we all know when the ball drops, it's gonna be hard. Shut up, Mike Mata. It's like, it's classic days. They're gonna bring them closer, opportunities, do all this stuff, and then when everything, it's gonna be like, I'm sure in the writing, I gave you I gave you an opportunity, and you knew this whole time you were lying. And then Teresa's gonna be like, Xander, can I please still keep Basic Black?
Right, I know.
So, well, we're gonna pray on it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it, right? Those are our top storylines, and we are now gonna head into our tidbits. But before you do, some rapid fire quick reminders. 1, make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. They're all right down there. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, make sure you listen to us on your favorite podcast stations located there. And also buy our merch at dishindays.threadless.com and show some love to JLJ Media on the YouTubes. Now moving on to tidbits. Just a little reminder that Gabby is in Statesville. In case you might have forgot.
That was just such a kind of random insertion this week with Stefan and Paulina, and I was not even though we pretty much assume that Gabby's innocent and she's being railroaded.
Yeah.
I was not on Jake's side in that conversation.
Neither was Paulina.
Yeah.
Nope.
Was it?
And let me tell you, the moment that he grabbed her arm
Mm-mm.
and she did a,
Oh,
It was like dragon fire.
it was that moment that I have never feared for Demira. Because I was like, you better let go of Paulina's arm if you know what's good for you. Because in a minute, she's going to take that arm home without
You're gonna be buried under the next Price Town, wherever that may be.
So let me tell you something. When a woman, and I'll say specifically a black woman, looks at you like that, it don't matter who you are. Run or stop what you're doing. My mom gave me those looks when I was younger, and trust me, I knew. It was like it's very much like one or two things are about to happen. Either you're gonna stop what you're doing, or it all ends today. I brought you in this world. I will take you out.
Wow. Mother Mattis said that to me quite a few times.
And meant it.
Yep.
When I will slap you in the next week. Trust me, I think there were a few times that I did go into the future.
I think there's only I've had to use that tone many a time. I think there was only one time I actually made my girls cry. Like I didn't have to go all the way, but I went far enough that I left them in tears.
It's very much a look at don't try me. Try me not. If you like your life enough, try me not. Because let me tell you what we're not gonna do is what you're doing right now.
Is Steph this like this kind of like almost what am I trying to say? This violent vibe that Stefan had, like this threatening vibe. I'm like, is that maybe we just haven't seen it in a while, but or maybe it's just like he's so passionate about what's happening to Gabby that
I think it's that
bringing that out. But I
think it's that.
I was like, I don't think we've seen that part of Stefan in a while. We saw like the underhanded BS with Kristen, and they were trying to Kristen and Lee and all that, but like this like intense, threatening.
I think they're trying to bring him back to who he was when he first came on the show, where he was that
right
because he was that archetype, like ruthless businessman, don't mess with me kind of a thing, and
Okay. Thank you, Annette. Well, all right, y'all. Well, that was your week of days, and it's now time to head on over into our favorite part of our show, which are our segments. And we're going to start with mine, which is Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Oh, snap! So, my 3 Snaps Award goes to no other than Miss Ari Zucker. I cannot commend this woman enough for her talents, for her amazingness, for her beauty. She killed, slayed, murdered, chomped it up this week. She was amazing. And all I could do every time she came on screen was just work them, Ari. Work them. So Nicole Demira now. I almost said Walker. Nicole Demira, Ari Zucker, for just being amazingly talented today. You get Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Oh, snap! That was some talent right there. Oh, she had us going through all the emotions, honey. And now it's time for
Caption that.
All right, this week's caption that goes to Rafe and Jada in the hospital, and this week's caption goes to Cam, Liz, and O'Driscoll. If that's one person or a shared family account, don't know, but Cam, Liz, and O'Driscoll on Instagram with their caption, well, I'll get the handcuff.
Well, listen, that is another time that Miss Tam Liz has won because side note, Greg Vaughn, when his caption that was there like a couple of weeks ago, he was like, "This is so cool. You have to tell me who won." So I was like, "This person won," and so yeah, it was Tam again.
I
So
saw
Tam's
him
good.
share it. I saw him share it, and I was like, "Oh, that was 2 weeks ago." But hey, he found it.
He found it. He liked it. He enjoyed it. So congrats again, Tam. And that was
Caption that.
and now it's time for
Those were the days.
That's taking you back to November 16th, 1987, where Justin and Adrian wed in Greece. This was sort of a whirlwind sort of romance. Adrian came to town as like an abuse survivor, and Justin was like working construction. He was like concealing his identity. They sort of got together and sort of defied the odds. And then all craziness ensued after this wedding. I think if you weren't watching around them and don't know their history, you can kind of check out. Sometimes people will do those YouTube timelines of relationships, and it's sort of encapsulated down. But yeah, we miss Justin and Adrian sometimes, but I think we later think of them as this nice, sweet couple, but their history is just riddled with murder and affairs. And I mean, they were a very scandalous couple back then. So yeah, go check out YouTube if you don't know their history. But yeah, November 16, 1987 was when they first wed in Greece.
look how gorgeous Judy Evans looks.
right?
Yes, and so handsome, Wally. Look at that.
They
80s soap weddings were like events,
Yes.
like crazy.
And they actually wed in Greece. They actually filmed it in Greece. Yeah, this is when they did location shots. Yeah,
with
They had money.
yeah.
Now we got green screens.
and Uzo. Don't forget about the Uzo,
Uzo.
which is the alcohol. It's Greek alcohol.
We forgot all about it.
Basically, I saw Judy Evans posted a tribute to that wedding, basically saying that there were pretty much no rules at that time, especially when you shot internationally. So when they were filming scenes in bars and stuff, is the real deal.
Well, I'm sure that became very interesting quickly. And that was
Those were the days.
and now it's time for
It's a gift.
And this week's It's a Gift goes to Salem's newest midwives, emphatically saying that they can't do it, but they have to do it.
one more time, Michael Mattis.
Let's hear it for the midwives.
When I'm told it's a cash bar versus an open bar. When I'm told there will be no food served.
Oh,
Yeah, that's true.
when I'm told at 9:59 Popeyes is closed.
Oh.
When I'm told I am out of the delivery range for Pizza Hut.
When I'm told by DoorDash, no, you didn't order those 12-piece nuggets, and that's why they're not in that bag.
We're just going to keep this one forever.
That's a good one. Yeah.
And that was
It's a gift.
and now it's time for
News and gossip.
Yes, if you haven't heard, the Daytime Emmys have been officially announced. They are back on before the end of the year. They are happening December 15th, 9 p.m. on CBS Eastern Standard Time. I think there's going to be a little bit of a delay for the West Coast, but you can also stream on Paramount Plus. Go. It's going to be, I think, an interesting show. They haven't really announced presenters or anything, but it is the 50th year, so I'm sure they are sort of running ragged, sort of putting stuff together. since it was, we weren't sure we were even going to get one this year, or if it was going to be delayed or just canceled altogether, since we're sort of into the next year of Emmy consideration. But yeah, December 15th, 9 p.m. Go check it out, and we'll see your favorite stars, especially Days.
Mhm.
And we have a couple of days' birthdays, including a big birthday for Dick Van Dyke. The
DVD.
legend turns 98 years young.
Wow.
And to celebrate, CBS will be airing a retrospective Dick Van Dyke 98 Years of Magic. It'll air December 21st at 9 p.m. Eastern Time and will be available for streaming on Paramount Plus. And this week was also a big birthday for Casey Moss. He celebrated his milestone 30th birthday. Still a milestone. Really great. Happy birthday to that.
That's like the first milestone birthday. Well, no, 21 is. 21, then
21,
30.
then 30. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Except we have
sometimes there's bar mitzvahs for what, 13?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bar
And then
mitzvahs,
15
quinceañeras,
quinceañeras.
Yeah.
Okay, so 15, 13.
Basically, just go to Hallmark and they have it all in categories.
Yeah. Right.
10, because you hit double digits.
Mhm.
Next up, we have some casting or new movie news for our friend Mike Manning, who played Charlie Dale. He has 2 new movies that are available to stream right now, 2 wildly different movies. First is The Engagement Dress. You can catch that on Tubi. It's a romantic comedy. And then on the other side of the spectrum, we have The Dirty South, which is a crime thriller. You can find that on Apple TV, Google Play, or Amazon Prime. So go check those out. Now that the strike is officially over, people are now able to promote their projects and things they have coming out. So you'll probably see a lot of that from your favorite stars. But yeah, go check out either one of those movies or both from Mike Manning.
Ooh, it's getting busy, let me tell you.
Mhm.
Yes. And looking forward to next year, we have 2 Spectrum celebrity events coming up. This is the Daytime Pride 24, which will be in National Harbor March 23rd, 2024, with our very own Tony Moore as host.
Yeah.
With Days of Our Lives is Mike Manning and Colton Little, and Young and the Restless is Cameron Grimes and Kate Fairbanks. Go to Spectrum Celebrity Events for your tickets. And we have the VIP dinner with Freddie Smith, which will be in Orlando, Florida. This is available to Gold members only. That'll be Saturday, February 24th. Tickets are still on sale at SpectrumCelebrityEvents.com.
Yes, and we have an update on Peter Porte's fundraiser. Again, he was working with the Covenant House, which combats homelessness in LGBTQIA youth. And he was doing a night out sort of out of solidarity, giving up his bed and sort of raising money for the cause. This is a photo of them doing the actual sleep out, which I think took place last week. An update, him and his whole team have raised about $10,000, which is amazing.
Wow.
And then the Covenant House is almost at their goal of $1 million. So if you're still interested in donating or reaching out and looking for a good cause, you can find all information on Peter's socials. But yeah, really great job. And yeah, big congrats to Peter. And he says thank you to everyone who donated or contributed. It worked out really, really well.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we have fan event, this time from Starstruck Fan Events. This will be April 13th and 14th in Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey. Guests include Paul Telfer, Peter Porte, Miss Ari Zucker, Eric Martzoff, and the lovely Stacey Hyduke and Emily O'Brien. What is the theme? Don't be blue because you missed us last time. I'm not sure if that's a theme, but it'll be fun. So go to Starstruck Fan Events for tickets.
Yeah, we got some news from Kyle Brandt, one of our many Philip Kirakises over the years. He was on an episode of Celebrity Wheel of Fortune this past week, and he had a little fun sort of exchange between him and Vanna White, where he confessed his sort of undying crush or boyhood crush he had on her. And you can see the exchange. He put up on his Twitter. So it's really funny, really kind of cute. But he also amazingly raised about $169,000 for his charity. They all play for a charity, and his was the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So yeah, big congrats on that. And go check out Kyle's Twitter page. You'll see that interaction he has.
Nice.
It's cute.
Yes. And we have upcoming dates for the Day Players Band. It's too late to catch them in 2023. Get your tickets for 2024. They will be in Florida in February 1st on February 24th at the Improv Comedy Theater in Daney, Florida. Next on February 25th at the Improv Theater and Restaurant in Orlando, Florida. And then your next available chance to see them will be in April 20th at the Comedy Vault in Batavia, Illinois, and April 24th at the Comedy Castle in Royal Oak. Tickets at thedayplayersband.com now.
And that was
News and gossip.
And now we're going to take a look at what's to come on this Thanksgiving week in Salem.
He's my ex-boyfriend.
Thanksgiving dinner this year will be awkward.
I just bought half of The Spectator, and my first act is to fire your ass.
I think Holly's got a crush on you.
Come on, she's like my little sister.
I need you to help me break up Johnny and Chanel.
I wanted to kiss you, and I still do.
What is it that you really want?
Well, good mix.
If I hear Julie say one thing,
Oh yes, yes. You know it's coming. You know you can't. They can't miss the opportunity.
Yeah.
You know it's
Yeah.
coming. You know she's gonna open the door and see him, and it's gonna be a little like,
Nick.
or a little start, or a little. You remind me of someone, or do I know you? You look familiar. Yeah,
Look, at least with Julie, it makes sense.
yeah. If anyone, it should happen with Julie. Yeah.
no, it shouldn't. It shouldn't happen with anybody, but it does. Can't help himself.
You
I'm sure
know
they're
me.
in the writer's room and they're like, let's give a little wink, wink. No. When you say let's give a little wink, wink, just don't.
Here's a note, red pen.
Get ready for it, Michael. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, unfortunately, we won't be here next Sunday to find out what Michael Mattis feels about yet wink wink. If
I'll
it
let you know the
happens.
next week.
Well, yeah,
I'll make a
you
note.
will. We will be taking next Sunday off to enjoy Thanksgiving weekend, and we hope that you guys have a wonderful, safe Thanksgiving this week as well. But in case you want to wish us a happy Thanksgiving, Michael Mattis, where can the fine folks find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and Twitter at MLMattis.
Justin Lee Hareld,
You can find me on Instagram at Justin Lee Hareld.
Araceli,
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Tia323 Araceli.
and you can find little old me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony. I almost said at Chocolate Tony.
Wow.
That's another
Right, I know,
one.
right?
Just kidding. There's no Chocolate Tony. But you can follow me everywhere at Lounging with Tony, and you can follow all of us at Dishin Days Show on Facebook and Dishin Days on Instagram, Twitter, and Threads. We want to thank you guys so much for joining our show as always, and we wish you a amazing Thanksgiving. We hope that you have a happy, healthy one, and one that you can spend with your family or your chosen family. Until then, we'll see you in 2 weeks for another full dish of Peacock's exclusive #1 award-winning hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.